On having dream house concepts, Ghoul house, Nemo house. I'm Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, and today's Monday, 21 July 2025. And one thing I've thought about is dream houses, and I've talked about dream houses for me in particular, others. And but there's another concept that I've kind of worked on throughout my life, and that's kind of a dream house concept, which is a house that has a certain concept or feel or like meaning to it, and it's about kind of finding the house that fits that concept as opposed to like it has to be that house, which might be a dream house. And so two of the kind of houses I've defined that way are one, a Ghoul house, which is my David Beckham in my dream concept for a house, which is a house that's kind of inspired by ghost tales of old, and is kind of about a house that has a long character and is kind of about being present but also being withdrawn and kind of having a place to kind of call home, but kind of like in a swashbuckling sense, and in the sense of like pirate tales and stuff like that. So like Blackbeard's Ghost or the Goonies or something, like kind of a adventure vibe, but in a house that stays put. Which is kind of not necessarily the norm these days, so in that sense it's kind of like a ghoul. The house is a ghoul. And the other one is Nemo house, and that one is initially I kind of was like about the science. If you've seen the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, there's a scientist guy who's also good with a sword named Nemo. And then there's also a fish in Finding Nemo, a clownfish who lives in an anemone, something like that. And so it was kind of a collision of those two, of like dedication to nature, and can think of like the yard of the house as an anemone, but then also a dedication to science. So like, and that's my Kyle Chalmers and my dream house. And so there are three houses in the Richmond Beach area that my David Beckham and my Kyle Chalmers and I all like, and I've brought them up previously in the like order of choosing them. And in terms of like I came up with the sequence for approaching them. However, if we don't get any of them for either my David Beckham or my Kyle Chalmers, it means they're not the corresponding house for the dream house concept. And we think we may have this house is the, you know, the Ghoul house, or this house is the Nemo house. However, if we don't get it, then that's not the right house. So it's a little bit more about letting the concept of the house help us find the house, as opposed to being like it's a particular house. So like defining the concept and then being like, I think that's that house. But like, yeah, which is a little bit different than the kind of dream houses of my Josh Kerr and my Jacob Ingebrigtsen and I in each a different house, each of those guys and I in Woodway, and then same for my Brad Pitt and my Lewis Hamilton and I, our dream house, each them and I in Woodway. So it's a little bit of a different take on that. The otter says, we'll find the numbats either way. Yeah, my Kyle Chalmers goes, for that house, the yard may become a like, can think of the anemone as like a bunch of people walking past, so then like can put like the frilled lizard and the numbats in the yard, so that even the river otter can go past and be like, look at those little numbats. Aren't we all cute? That kind of thing. Reptiles and mammals, four-legged critters, can be cute with a tail and legs. So there we go. That's on having dream house concepts, Ghoul house, Nemo house.